Hello everyone, my name is Quad and welcome to another Systems of Warframe episode, all about our hungry boy Helminth. If you don't know what the Systems of Warframe series is, it is basically a series in which we talk about hidden, not so hidden, and in plain view systems incorporated into Warframe, and we try to explain them as good as possible. As I said, today we will talk about Helminth and the three basic functions it can do. Let me just quickly summarize them. The first function is not that special. You're able to get a new companion and a minor aesthetic operation to remove the pink cyst. The second function is a bit of a mid-game to late-game feature. It will allow you to sacrifice warframes in order to get abilities out of them, and then use those abilities with other warframes at a cost of huge amounts of farmable resources. The abilities are also predetermined for every warframe, so you can't combine everything. And the third function is purely a buff to warframes that will change your gameplay completely for 1 week. But now let's go over all the functions one by one in more detail. First, the most basic function is available to everyone that has the pink cyst on their warframe's neck. The pink cyst, what many call space AIDS, does not have any negative effects on your warframe or your gameplay, but it is not aesthetically pleasing. There is two ways you can remove it. The first one is by getting to the back left door coming from the arsenal to the room of Helminth with a chair where it works. So yeah, by sitting on the chair and having the cyst, you can remove it. The door won't open if the cyst is not fully matured, so yeah, you have to wait a bit. With the first function, if you don't know, you can also infuse the cyst into a Kubrow egg and get a special companion called Helminth. But this is not the point of this video, so let's go back to the functions of Helminth. The second function requires a segment you can buy from the brother at Necrolisk with mastery rank 8, and you also need to be rank 3 with the Entrati family. What we're looking for is the Helminth segment blueprint, which will cost you 15,000 standing with Entrati and a couple of easy to get resources which you can definitely already afford. Building the segment requires 24 hours, so yeah, you will also have to wait a bit. When the segment is done, pick it up from the foundry and place it into the Helminth. There should be a waypoint. This will allow you to do many things. Let's go over them. There is the Helminth's level on the top, and below it there are warframe abilities which you will get by sacrificing warframes to the Helminth. Next to those two things there is the Invigoration menu, which is unlocked with another segment and is the third function of Helminth, so just imagine it is not there yet. We will go over it later. Now that you are seated in the chair, the first thing you will need to do is feed the Helminth, which you can do by clicking the Feed Helminth in the bottom right corner. On the right side you will see 6 kinds of materials it needs to work with, and on the left side you will see what you can feed him. If I, for example, click on the biotics icon on the right side, I will see what I can feed him on the left. The green arrow usually means 30 percentage points up, no arrow means 15 percentage points up, and the red arrow usually means 3 percentage points up. Why usually? Because there is some resources that are exceptions to this rule. For example, Pustulite, which will fill the meter up 2 times more than it should, so for the red arrow, 6 up. It is a very good resource to have. There is also a special group of resources called the Sentient Appetite, which will increase the appetite of Helminth for resources he dislikes, with the red arrow to normal, and the ones from normal to the ones he really wants, so the green arrow. You will need quite a lot of these resources, so be careful with how you use them. Every percentage point of fed material will level up your Helminth by 6.66 experience points, and you can see how much you leveled up by checking the experience on the left upper corner when looking at Helminth. Once you get to 2250, you will unlock its first level, which will allow you to finally be able to subsume warframes, and you will also get 3 subsuming slots, that number meaning how many warframes you can sacrifice to the Helminth. So to repeat myself, subsuming means sacrificing a warframe for one specific ability it can get you. For example, I can sacrifice Caliban to get the Sentient Wrath ability from it and get it on any warframe. Let's sacrifice him now. Subsuming a warframe will get you 1600 Helminth experience, so it is quite good to use. A very important tip also is that you should sacrifice warframes with 0 things on them, Orokin Catalyst, Orokin Reactors, Forma and stuff like that, because you will lose them. those warframes are going to be gone. I suggest you get them right out of the foundry and sacrifice them right away to avoid hours and hours of lost progress on farming new warframes and stuff like that. A very important thing is also that the warframe needs to be normal, not Prime or Umbra, so good luck with farming Octavia and Inaros and Oberon and Dash. Oh my god, you're in for a treat. Once the warframe is subsumed, it will be sleeping on the wall for 1 day, and after that, you will be able to infuse its ability into other warframes. You can infuse this ability as many times as you want. It is infinite. A small fun aspect of subsuming warframes is also the fact that every single sacrifice will grow a flower, so yeah, it's nice. That's all about subsuming. The next step is infusing the abilities into warframes, which is sometimes completely broken in a good sense and sometimes a massive setback to the user since some abilities are better than others. Let's use our big boy Grendel as an example here. Grendel's abilities don't really suit my playstyle, so I will replace one ability with something I want. For example, the ability Condemn, for which I had to sacrifice Harrow. Every ability you want to infuse will require some amount of resources that Helminth needs. For example, here I need biotics, synthetics, and bile. Helminth needs more synthetics, so I will feed him. The amount of Helminth experience you will get with this by infusing abilities into other warframes is 8 experience points per percentage point used in the infusion, so 20 biotics, 62 synthetics, and 20 bile summed together and multiplied by 8 equates to about 800 Helminth experience, a little bit over, which is not a lot, but it's still good. After you feed him, you will be able to infuse the ability into warframes by clicking on the infuse ability option under the resources on the right. This will show a new window with your current abilities you have on the warframe. This is the hardest part. You need to choose one ability that will be removed and replaced by the ability you are infusing into warframe. Once you are done, you will get another option of choosing which configuration you want this ability to be on. I recommend choosing only one, maybe two of the configurations, just because you might not like the ability you infuse. For example, I'll infuse the Condemn ability into the C configuration. I now still have the normal Grendel abilities on the A and B configuration, but the Condemn ability is on the C configuration. If I go into a mission now with the C configuration, I can use Condemn as much as I want and run down enemies in a ball even easier. I love it. By leveling up Helminth, you will get more and more subsumed slots and also new Helminth abilities. I will go over them in a different video in detail, but to let you know, some of them are extremely useful to the point of not being able to play without them. Another tidbit I really need to mention is the restrictions of abilities. There is 3 of them. Some warframes do not allow to have more than one of these same ability type, for example Strength. Mirage here can only get Roar from Rhino in exchange for Eclipse. A bad trade-off if you ask me. The second one is that you can infuse only one ability into every configuration. For example, I have the Empower ability on Mirage's A configuration and the Golden Instinct ability on the B configuration. Sadly, you can't replace all the abilities for your warframe, but this is what it is. And the third tip is actually nice. The augments or abilities that are infused into your warframes can be used on them as well, even though they are not the warframe that it should be. But yeah, that is all about subsuming, so let's now go to the next function, Invigoration. To keep it plain and simple, Invigoration is the best buff to any warframe, but sadly, it is gambly. Let's first look at what we need. First thing we need is the Helminth Invigoration segment blueprint. Again, from the brother at Necrolisk. To get it, you need to be at least Master rank 8 and rank 5 with the Entrati family, plus you need 30,000 Entrati standing. You also need some resources and 24 hours of waiting when you start crafting the segment in your foundry. Once it is done, you can get the segment to the Helminth and start invigorating warframes. The invigoration menu is right below where you sit, and it is very easy to use. Every week there will be 3 random warframes you can invigorate. This week, for example, there is Atlas, Caliban, and Lavos for me. If I go over them, you can see the buffs I will get by invigorating the warframes. Plus 200% ability strength and 5 jump resets for 7 days is quite good for Atlas. I also love the one for Caliban, plus 250% damage and plus 25 heal rate. Bonkers! And the last one, Lavos, is even more insane. Just look at those buffs. On the left, you can see how much time you still have to invigorate those warframes, so yeah, do it if you can, it is so much fun and promotes playing as that warframe. Below the 3 warframes there is a meter with 10 slots. Currently I have 8 filled out and 2 empty. With every invigoration you will fill one up, and at 10 you will be able to invigorate a warframe of your choice. Let me show you. I invigorated Atlas and Caliban to reach the end of the meter. Now I can invigorate my favorite warframe, Mirage, with the last one's ability. So Lavos is by choosing the new option of overriding Mirage. This is an insane buff, really, but remember, the buffs will go away in 1 week's time. In the meantime, destroy everything you see. A few little facts that I also should mention here are: you can invigorate normal and prime warframes as well, even if the pictures show only normal warframes. You can have only one invigoration on a warframe at once, so be careful what you get on the override ones. Once you use it, the override meter will be depleted and you will need to invigorate 10 more warframes until you can do one of your choice again, so watch out. But yeah, that is it. If you have any questions, be sure to get them down in the comments. I know I've been gone for a very long time, and I'm actually quite happy I made this video, and I'm trying to get more out in the meantime. So let's go. Have a nice day and goodbye.